Hi, my name's Isaac, and this is a newly mid-cycle refreshed 2023 Ford Escape Platinum. And today, I'm gonna review it for you guys. Ow, that is really hot. Before we begin, I'd like to thank Manderbach Ford for allowing me to borrow this vehicle to review. For all your Ford needs in the Hamburg, Pennsylvania area, I'll leave a link to their website in the description below. Starting out up front on the new Ford Escape, this is mid-cycle refreshed up here, and I personally think this looks a lot better than the outgoing Escape. That has more of a bubbly look. This is more sharp and angular. I think this works a little bit better design-wise. And then here you will have LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, and LED turn signals. And right below that, you'll also get LED fog lights. Moving even further down, you'll have parking sensors incorporated into the lower portion of the front bumper. And then above that, you will have a camera that is incorporated into the grille below the Ford badge. Moving underneath the hood, this Escape Platinum is powered by a 2-liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder, making 250 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. And that is paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Moving to the profile of the new Escape, starting down here with the wheels and tires. On the Platinum, you're going to get two 25/55R Bridgestones around these 19-inch two-tone wheels. They're kind of a dark gray and a light silver. And then as we move up to the mirror, there is a camera incorporated into it for the 360-degree camera system, and there is blind spot monitoring as well. They are, of course, also power adjusting mirrors. And then if you come down here, this does have keyless entry, so if you have the key in your pocket, you can tap this, that will lock the vehicle. And if you just put your hand back there, that will unlock the vehicle. Very convenient. This also has Ford's smart passcode entry right here, so you can create a passcode for the car, lock your keys inside. Let's say you're going to the beach, you're going snowboarding, I don't know. You can lock your keys inside and create a passcode, so that's very neat. And as we move to the rear here, you'll see the Platinum badge, and then all-wheel drive and Escape. You also get a backup camera right here, and this particular one has a tow hitch installed. You also get dual exhaust. That's nice, though I don't know how effective that would necessarily be. Bringing the key up, you'll get unlock, lock, panic, of course. You also get remote start, which is nice, and you have the ability to open up the rear lift gate. So as we move in here, a lot of cubic feet of storage space. If we open this up, kind of pull forward on it, you'll see there is a donut down here, and Ford gives you a little first aid kit. That's really nifty. I like that they include that. Other things of note back here, you also get a 12 volts, so that's convenient. But for the most part, pretty standard. These seats do fold down, though they are not power, they are manually dropping seats. As we come out of the rear right here, you can see there is also a button to lower the lift gate if you'd like. Let's take a look at the interior. Let's talk interior on the new Ford Escape. Now, my first impression is cozy. I think it's kind of a cozy, snug interior in here, and I'll show you why. Let's talk about the door panel first. You'll have a nice soft touch material up here to rest your arm on. And then what I think is very interesting is this area is actually wider than the traditional armrest area down here. So I think Ford might anticipate people to be resting their arm here a little bit more. That's what I traditionally do. So I like that this is wider. You'll have your door handle, lock, unlock, and then your memory settings for your power seats. Then down here you'll have your mirror controls and your window controls. Of note, even the rear windows are power one-touch up and down. Always nice to see that. Then you'll have a Bang & Olufsen sound system. Right here is your pull tab for the hood release, and then you will have manually tilting and telescoping on the steering wheel. Your lighting controls are right here, and this is the button to open up your rear liftgate from inside the interior. The steering wheel is very comfortable. It's a nice leatherette material with stitching in it, and your controls right here focus on the safety systems that are implemented into this with your radar guided cruise control, lane keeping assist, stuff like that. You'll also have your volume right there and Bluetooth, your channel changing, song changing, and hanging up the phone. And then these controls right here actually help with your fully digital gauge cluster. Always nice to see a fully digital gauge cluster. There's a lot of stuff you can do in here. You can go between many different screens. You'll see your power distribution, your tire pressure, stuff like that. One thing I do want to highlight, which I find particularly amusing, is there is a navigation tab. Now, sometimes you'll get a fully digital like navigation screen come up. Here on the Ford system, what you can do is you can plug it in and it will give you the navigation closest, so like point of interest right here. I'm using the Rudders that is right behind the dealership, for example. And if I click it, it does not pull it up on the screen, but it pulls it up on the infotainment screen, which is useful and very nice that it's there. I think I'd probably use Apple CarPlay personally, and one of the reasons why is the Rudders is right behind me. I can get out of the dealership and go right down this road, and I'm at the Rudders like that. But it wants me to go all the way up the highway, hang a U-ey at the Wawa up here, and then come all the way back down. So a few little kinks in the navigation system, though I'm sure that's not how it would navigate for every single thing. Plus, I'm not on an active road right now, so it might be a little confused. I just thought that was particularly funny. Also of note in this screen, if we go to the infotainment really quick, we click features, we can go to our drive modes. So there is eco, sport, and slippery. That changes how the gauges look. Always love to see that. I think it is a waste when the different drive modes don't pop up as different kind of screens if you have a fully digital gauge cluster. So I'm glad that it's incorporated in here. Fully moving over to this infotainment screen, it is very fast. It is very cool looking, though it incorporates the climate controls, which I am not a fan of. I'm outright not a fan. I prefer physical buttons, which you do not get here. Everything is incorporated into the screen. Now, it works great, but it takes some getting used to. The fan speed, for example, you tap that, you can bring it up. That's going to bring our fan speed up, and then we can bring that back down to lower it. You'll have heated seats. You just tap that, it'll turn it on. You can turn it off. Very intuitive, very simple. The more you do it, the more you'll get used to it. Though personally, I just prefer a physical button. I wish that it was there, but you're not going to get that on this new Escape. It's all built in to the screen. And for some people, that's not going to be an issue at all, but it is definitely something of note on this. This will, of course, have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto incorporated into it. And there are some other nice little features. The driver's assistance features are right in here. You can mess with how you want the pre-collision to alert you. You can have the camera delay, blind spot information, cross traffic. It really does have a lot of safety implemented into it, which is very nice. I always like to see that. Overall, it is not a bad screen. I really do think that it is effective. And if we throw it into reverse really quick here, you'll see it does have a backup camera with guiding lines, and then this does have a 360-degree top-down view, which is really useful. You can zoom in on this to kind of get a more top-down trailering look view, and it's just really, really handy, and I like that it's there. You can just do the rear if you want. You can do kind of a 3/4 rear view camera. There's really a lot of different options, and Ford has an excellent backup camera system, and I've really been impressed by it for quite a while. And in conjunction with those parking sensors that will beep, you can turn those off up here. I think that's a really cool system. So like I said, overall, good screen. Just would prefer the climate controls to be their own buttons. I know a lot of manufacturers are going this way though, so it unfortunately might be something that continues with everybody eventually, and I'm the old curmudgeon and I'll have to get used to it. Your push button starts down here, and then you do have some other buttons like your driver assistance stuff right here, and there is a physical button for your different drive modes, so that's nice to have, and you can go to your camera if you want as well. Volume, you get an actual volume knob. That's really cool. I love to see that. And then down here you get kind of a slanted phone charger. I really like the look of that. You kind of firmly plop it in there and it holds it. I think that's neat. You'll also get USB and USB-C as well as a 12 volt. And then this does have a circular drive selector. Ford's been doing this for a little while now. You'll just turn it to get it into reverse neutral drive, and then if we get it in drive and turn it again, you can get it into the low right there, and then you can switch it back into each drive mode pretty simply. Electronic parking brake and auto hold right here, so those are useful. And then you'll have 2 cup holder spots and I honestly, I don't know what would fit in this cup holder. Maybe a little packet of Kool-Aid or something. I don't know what is this size, but then you'll get a little spot for change, a very nicely appointed armrest, and then if we open this up, nothing inside except some storage. Let's talk about the seats really quick. As previously mentioned, they are power adjusting with lumbar and such. I really like the cool texture on them. The diamond pattern is neat. I believe they're a leatherette material. I don't think these are actual leather, as the industry is moving away from that. And if we move up here, you do have this kind of nice chromish piece in the dashboard right here that's incorporated. And then this is kind of a rubber texture, which makes the dashboard feel more premium. It's not like a cheap plastic that you can knock on. It's this more premium kind of rubber material, which I like. And then the door panel right here gives you a better view of the design of that. I think it looks good overall. And then if we move up top here, regular mirror, though there is auto dimming with that. And then you do have a sunglasses holder up here. Disappointingly, no sunroof or moonroof here on the Platinum. I really wish that it would incorporate that, but unfortunately we don't. You do get some nice soft on LED lights. I always like that for the dome lights though. And the last thing to mention up front is you do get a heads-up display. I'll zoom in here, you can see. Let's focus. It's not actually blinking, so in reality that is a normal static 0 miles per hour and turnaround thing. It actually says turnaround because we have the navigation implemented on there, so it's cool to see that that pops up there as well. And then when you turn the vehicle off, I believe it's gonna bring this down. If we, yep, there we go, it closes it up. So that's cool that it kind of hides it away. So I really like that they've incorporated that. But that's pretty much gonna wrap up the front here. Let's take a look at the back. All right, here we are in the back seats of the new Escape, and you get a pretty good amount of legroom right here. I have probably 4 or 5 inches, maybe even 6 if I put my knees in like that. And then I have 2 or 3 inches of headroom. I am 5'9", so you can sit pretty comfortably back here if you're average height. This is where I would have the seat adjusted if I was sitting up front. Then down here you'll get 2 climate vents and 2 USB-Cs, and you can fold this down for a nice little armrest. And it is kind of stadium seating in here. You're a little bit taller in the back than you are up front, but I like that. Like I said before, I think it's kind of snug in here. It's very cozy. It's a nice atmosphere to be in, and those really neat seats continue back here as well. You get that cool texture. And then if we step out really quick and pull back here, I will show you how to drop the seats. You just pull that, and that is going to give you that flush load floor and access to the rear. One last thing of note back here is there's actually a pull bar. If you pull that, you can actually pull the seats forward and backward. Not 100% sure why you'd want to pull them forward, because you already don't have a ton of legroom, but you can do that if you'd like. All right, driving the new Ford Escape. It's a peppy little 4-cylinder on this, giving it a little gas here. It does pick up speed fairly well, and this braking is really nice as we come to the stop here. I really like the heads-up display on this. I'm always a fan of a heads-up display on a car. And it's very comfortable to drive. It's kind of a very soft ride. The suspension is really nice. It's nothing out of this world mind-blowing, but it is very comfortable, and I think that's what a lot of people are looking for. They're looking for that comfortability. I have salesman Dakota behind my camera because I forgot my suction cup mount, and so I'll leave a link in the description for Dakota if you're interested in buying this or maybe another Ford. I'll leave all his contact info here if you're near Hamburg, or maybe you're not. Maybe you're far away and you're still interested in a Ford. Dakota will set you up here. Like I said before, it's not particularly anything special. It's not going to blow your mind with performance, but it is responsive and it does work. And I think that's what people have come to expect with the Escape. It's just reliable and it drives well. Well, that is... Do you mind? Sorry, there's a frog. Can you believe this? Does this frog know I'm filming a video? That is just about going to wrap up this video on the Ford Escape. See, I can't keep a straight face now. On the Ford Escape. It's a different day. That's why I'm wearing different clothes. I filmed this segment later because I didn't get to it at the time. I bet you're wondering, why doesn't Isaac wear nice clothes normally during his reviews? Why is he only wearing nice clothes now? I don't know. Now, before I go, I'd like to mention that I am a Christian, and if you have any prayer requests, I would love to be able to pray for you guys. You can leave those in the comment section below. And lastly, I'd like to close out on a weekly scriptural reading. This week's is Luke 2, verse 14. And to give you a little context before I read the verse, Jesus has just been born, and an angel appears to the shepherds, and then suddenly a great multitude of angels appear to the shepherds, and they're saying this, verse 14, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace among those with whom he is pleased." All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Take care.